This is basically what supply management means in Canada.
The last 2 weeks after a scathing report came out about how much milk is wasted in Canada. Since then, Harmisha Molesky has been trying to get reaction from the sector only.
While you're listening to this, just think about how much you're paying every time you go buy milk, butter, cheese from the grocery store. Cream $7 now.
To hear silence. She joins us now with a look at how this system.
And think how many people are going hungry and they want to take our money. You know, where's
butter's $10
this and
butter's
donate to that.
Butter's like $9-10 for a pound of butter.
Ricardo, public awareness about milk dumping kind of ramped up last winter when an Ontario dairy farmer
milk dumping. What?
Viral.
What's milk
It's the whole thing. It's even got a name.
reality.
They make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time I'm going public. I want the people.
I think this guy disappeared afterwards.
He's dead now. Well, this is 3 months old.
Yeah, he disappeared, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Jeremy.
I mean, I'm going to ask my assistant while you're playing that. Jerry Hugan.
365 days as a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what's happening.
That's Jerry Hugan from Dunnville, Ontario. He posted that video in February 2023, saying he's forced to dump about 30,000 liters of extra milk at the end of that month because of government regulation. He, like thousands of dairy farmers, pay for a quota to make milk in this country. They don't get paid if their cows produce a surplus. Now, after that video was released, 2 environmental scientists, one from the US and one from Denmark, reached out to Sylvain Charlebois, affectionately known as the food professor from Canada's Dalhousie University, wondering how could this be happening? So together, they took the number of dairy cows in Canada and estimated up how much milk the average cow will produce in its lifetime. That number was compared to the milk that was sold in this country for the same year. The result? The researchers.
What do you think?
I don't know.
How much milk?
I don't know. How much milk is dumped?
Yeah, how much milk do you think?
As a percentage or?
In liters.
It's probably hundreds of thousands of liters.
I'm going to say millions.
Okay.
Found a staggering 7% of milk can't be accounted for. It's a $14 billion loss to the economy and a valuable food product that could have been used to help millions of Canadians, according to the researchers. So, Ricardo, it's been a challenge to get reaction. A local dairy farmer referred all of my questions to the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. They deferred me to the Dairy Farmers of Canada, who didn't have a single...
echoing. Did you change something in there? It started echoing. It was fine, and then it started echoing.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, sorry. Can you rewind that? You referred to the Dairy Farmers of Ontario, then to Canada. This is just priceless. I mean, this is another reason why Canada is just so broken. And it reminds me of, I was reading that thing that you sent to me about, like, you know, Canada and the US, like always, Canada always becoming sort of a part of the US. And now I see why because they said it was going to happen commercially with all these corporations anyways, right? And now I see why when Trump's pissed off, like none of the companies are allowed in Canada. Like it's really hard to do business with us because they know that if you let all these companies in, they're going to destroy us. Like production wise, right?
We can't compete.
We won't be able to compete with them. It'll become the US. And then David Eby can do his blue and red state cherry picking. Let's just do it. I mean, he's already made the choice.
This should be better now.
To the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. They deferred me to the Dairy Farmers of Canada, who didn't have a single person available for an actual interview. Same goes for the Canadian Dairy Commission. In a written statement, the CDC denies the problem is as big as the study would indicate. The Canadian Dairy Commission says just 1% of milk is thrown away, and only as a last resort. A new study indicates it could be 7 times higher.
It's much easier to turn on the tap, away from cameras, in barns, away from prying eyes, just dumping milk is less costly. It's less complicated.
Charlebois believes the CDC should make dumping illegal, and the agency should be forced by government to find a way to utilize any extra milk.
It's totally normal to have a surpluses. What is not normal in Canada is not to have a strategy to manage surpluses. And we should.
Charlebois also believes farmers should be allowed to sell their milk raw and unprocessed.
Whoa.
Or Canada should do more to find new domestic producers to make
That's getting
infant
crazy.
formula or yogurt in this country. Economist Ian Lee believes supply management should be abandoned altogether.
We're the only country now in the world with supply management.
Lee thinks if we did, the cost of milk could be cut in half, acknowledging government might still have to provide subsidies to the sector.
So if governments want to intervene for whatever policy reason, it's much better to subsidize the firm or the activity rather than fixing or regulating the price.
The federal government, meantime, appears to remain committed to supply management.
I'm gonna leave it there for now. So we talked about how much did you say you thought it was?
Oh, I
Hundreds of thousands.
didn't want to get into the millions. I mean, I just said, well, hundreds of thousands, but
All right. Well, let's.
it says 14 billion on the top of your thing. I mean,
That's
lost.
a dollar amount, though.
That's a dollar amount.
And that's just some bullshit news thing. Let's go to the to a report, to a publication, a research publication from the Center for Sustainable Systems. It says, what do we got here? Holy moly! Over 6 billion liters of Canadian milk has been wasted since 2012. Now, this is a paper. This is a research paper filed October 5th last year. So that would be. Do you have your chat bot open? Can you ask him what 6 billion divided by 13 is? Divided by 12, really. So it's going to be. Well, I could do that. It's $500 million a year. 500 million liters of milk a year. So Canada's dairy supply management system, according to the peer-reviewed literature. I mean, the Canada government says otherwise. I mean, I will have to. It's a coin toss on who you can trust these days. I know I don't trust the government. Canada's dairy supply management system provides milk year-round, but unnecessarily disposes of overproduction. A lack of transparent data on discarded milk means that the scale of this issue is unknown. This hinders action to mitigate the potentially large environmental, economic, and nutritional costs of avoidable on-farm milk waste. Here we estimate the volume of surplus milk discarded on farms using a material flow analysis approach and assess the related environmental and nutritional costs. By our estimates, over 6.8 billion liters of raw milk vanished from the Canadian dairy farm since 2012. Now, what do you think? We could probably take $1 billion off of that for fucking out the door raw milk deals.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling.
It's a number. So let's see what this is. So we calculate this is equivalent to 8.4 million tons of CO2 emissions, or enough milk for 4.2 million people, or 11% of the Canadian population annually.
Hey, that could be all the immigrants since 2023.
Whoa, easy, man. We don't need to give these motherfuckers any milk. You should get some milk. You know, you're old. Pretty soon you'll be on the pension.
Send it to
Your mom should get free milk. So we suggest increasing transparency on the volume of overproduction.
No, but I mean, what about that? What about that? What about free milk to the food banks? Like, I mean, anything but throwing it away? Really? What is going on?
This is like
Atlas Shrugged, man.
It's crazy. Right? Are you done Atlas Shrugged yet?
No, I was trying to. I got through it a bit more yesterday. I was just again blown away by it.